Hi everybody and welcome to the Royal Chess YouTube channel. My name is David Kanovsky and this is part 7 of my Dave chess lectures. Today I have chosen for you one of my most terrible losses in my chess player's career, and it is the game I have played in 2017 against young Czech master Daniel Kožušek, very young and talented Czech player, and it is a game from first league from April, if I'm not wrong, and Daniel had a great result in Czech Championship under 20 in March the same year. So in this game I wanted to play especially, let's say, easily, but this game is a nice demonstration that of the fact that this is often not a good idea to play easily against let's say young active players. And I would like to show you several big mistakes, not only chess mistakes, which I have made in this game. So, in this game Daniel had played d4 in the first move, and after knight f6, bishop f4, d5, we played, let's say, normal position. After e3, e6, knight f3, I decided to play c5 here, c3, knight c6, knight d2, bishop d6, and bishop g3. Okay, and in this moment, this is first, or better to say, in this situation, this is first moment I would have chosen different move in another game, because here I have played simple and natural move castles, but I have to say that next time I would play a6 here, and it is probably a very good and very important move here, aimed against bishop b5, against developing white's light colored bishop on b5 square, because without that move after castles, Daniel played bishop b5, which is a very good and very strong move, and only after the game I have found that this is a move which is most common here. I mean, most common played by strong players and strong grandmasters, and the idea is really clear here. White wants to exchange on the c6, and he's sure, or better to say, he knows that this position is not so much about pair of bishops, but this position is strongly about e5 square. So it is a very good idea to exchange knight on c6, which is of course a very important piece for defending that e5 square. And the truth is that after bishop b5, and that's probably the most important thing here, and the most important thing why I would have chosen a6 instead in another game, or when I would have played this position again, because here black has got let's say very limited number of moves, because okay, of course bishop d7 would be fine here, but it's not possible because bishop on d6 would be hanging, would be uncovered then. A6 here is a bit weird, let's say, because okay, white simply wants to take on the c6, so white to play a6 for that. So maybe the best option here is just to play knight e7, and let's say after bishop d3 to move that knight on g6. But on the other hand, I wasn't really sure during the game if the knight on g6 is placed well here. Okay, he's defending that important e5 square, but that's all, let's say. But okay, still this position looks very normal, very natural. So this would be a good option here. But after bishop b5, I decided to play bishop takes g3 here, which is of course very double-edged move, because after h takes g3, which is natural of course, black opened h file for white's rook, and because white still doesn't have castles here, he can choose to make also long castles. So let's say with exchanging on g3, black helped white a little bit by opening that h file. But on the other hand, I believed in my position here, and I think I was right here about that. Black position is solid here, and it is not easy to, let's say, checkmate black's king on the king side. So here I have played queen b6, and after exchanging on c6, I have taken it by pawn, because first I wanted to have semi-open b file, especially if white is going for long castles. It would be very fine to have attacking b file here. And also another possibility behind taking on c6 by b pawn is to play bishop a6, occupying a very interesting and very nice diagonal f1 a6, which is also very fine, I think. And Daniel really decided to go for long castles, which is the right idea here, I believe. So he played queen c2, and after rook b8, long castles, of course. And here we have reached probably the most important position and the critical position of the game. And here I made a very big mistake. First of all, here, okay, I felt that I could have troubles here, because as you can see, white is attacking h7 with his queen and with his rook. So after removing knight from f6 somehow, black king could be checkmated after taking on h7. And okay, let's say black king is well protected here, but of course under some attack here. So black has to be really careful here. And of course I knew that I need to make some quick counterplay here. And my first idea here was to play a very nice move, and of course also a correct move here, and it is e5. The idea behind this move is of course to attack b2 pawn with bishop f5 move. So after, let's say, taking on e5 with knight, black first exchanges on d4. It is not a big difference if white takes with e pawn or c pawn. So let's say he takes with e pawn, and now bishop f5. And after queen b3, it is of course very important to play queen a6, And after queen a3, black can even exchange the queens. And it is the thing I have calculated wrong in my calculations, because I have seen this variation when I was thinking about e5 move, but I really didn't want to exchange queens. But as I said, it is a big mistake, because I totally forgot about the fact that also without queens it is also very possible and even very strong to attack the opponent's king. So after exchanging on a3, black simply plays rook fc8 here, following by c5, and as you can see, in fact, there is no important that black is a pawn down, because he's got really nice and active pieces, and suddenly white king is under attack. And for example, after knight b3 and the king on d4, black can take on c3, but he also can just make perpetual here, and the game would end in a draw, which would be a good end, I think, and the correct end of the game. And whole this variation is a very nice proof that e5 move is really right, because after that, after e5, black in fact has no need to worry about white's attack, because black's attack is faster here and stronger. So it is very nice and very right move here. And my probably biggest mistake in this game was, and it is interesting also from the fact that as a coach, I really often say to my students that first, he should believe in their position, and second, he should believe in first idea, because very often the truth is that first idea is the right idea. So the first move you think about is the right one. And here my first idea was to play e5. And for quite a long time I really wanted to play that. But then, as I said, I have calculated that variation with exchanging queens, and I didn't want to exchange queens. So finally I decided not to play e5, which is of course a very big mistake here, because after bishop a6, which I have played, white simply continued bishop knight e5, of course, sorry, and at the moment I really cannot understand why I have played bishop a6, because okay, it seems that the bishop is quite well here, quite well placed on a6 and on the diagonal, but the truth is it is doing nothing there, because to go on d3 sometimes it's just impossible. Going on e2, it has no reason and no aim. So the position of black bishop on a6 is in fact really bad. And after knight e5, white is of course threatening very, very annoying, very unpleasant knight d7 move, and very strong, of course, with that idea to remove that important knight f6 from covering checkmate on h7. So I've played c takes d4. Now, of course, knight d7 is not working, because there is d3 intermediate move, after which black is just fine. But of course white simply takes on d4, and here I made another big mistake. Here the problem is that c5 is too slow here, because white simply takes on c5, and of course if black takes, there is still that knight d7 idea. And for example, after queen c7, knight g4, there is also a big problem for black, because white is threatening taking on f6, and there is no good way how to defend h7 pawn here. So that wouldn't be good. And so the only move here was probably to play h6, just to defend that threats knight d7 or knight g4. But the truth is that white is already much better here, and his attack and his opposition is much better and much faster. But as I said, I made another mistake, which was rook b7. Okay, it is a move which is covering the threat of knight d7, but after another very simple and very easy move, knight b3, it is clear that rook on b7 is really bad placed, and I can play knight c5, another easy move with attacking both black's rook and black's bishop, and black's position is already very bad. After bishop c4, white simply plays knight c5, and this is just great situation for white. I think this is a really great picture of how pair of knights can be very strong. These two white pieces are much better, much stronger than black pieces, and black is already almost lost here. Or better to say, not almost, but the fact is black is lost here. His position is just too bad, and after h6, the problem is that after, let's say, bishop takes e2, white has no need to take on b7, because he's got much better option, and it is again to jump on d7, and once more black is losing the queen, because of course it is not possible to take on d7 because of checkmate on h7. So after h6, knight takes b7, queen takes, and b3, easily covering a2 pawn. After only 18 moves, I totally could have resigned here, and probably I should have resigned here. I have continued in the game just to make some more moves, and not to resign after 18 moves. But the fact is, black has absolutely no chance here. His whole exchange down, and of course there is no counterplay for black. White still has a very strong attack. He can easily play g4, f4, g5, open h-file against the black king, and after 10 moves, white won really very easily here. So as I said, that's one of the most horrible losses by me, and the main reason is, okay, also maybe not playing a6, and maybe not playing knight e7 after bishop b5, but okay, it's not so important, I would say, in the terms of the result of the game. But the most biggest mistake in this game was in this position, that I didn't play e5, the move I have seen, the move I have calculated, the move which was my first idea here, but still I didn't play it, because I didn't believe it, let's say, on 100%. And also maybe because what I have said at the beginning of this lecture, that I wanted to play this game, let's say, easily, and e5 move is not an easy one. Bishop a6 is easier, but of course much worse than the correct idea of e5. So it was my game against Daniel Kujušek. Very nice win by Daniel. Really horrible game for me, but okay, at least it is a game which is a very good experience for me, and another good experience I can show to you. I can tell it about to you, and I hope you have liked it. I hope it was interesting for you and especially useful for you. So this is everything from part 7 of Dave lectures, and see you at part 8. Goodbye.